On my way to Cairns, 2 weeks heavy tackle fishing, just a little bit excited.
Oh. Mate, I was taking a few deep, that's very heavy.
Is that the battery charger?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a battery charger die on us when Jim took the boat up this year. That's Jim there, the owner. So we installed the battery charger and we were out of there with a great forecast. So welcome back if you watched one of these videos on the Tsukiji before up in Cairns. For those who are just watching for the first time, you'll probably realise we don't take ourselves too seriously in the fishing front. It's all about fun for us. You know, we don't have flying gaffs. We're never going to take a big fish. None of the crew are experienced at wiring big fish, so we haven't whined on leaders, and you know, they'll sheepishly grab the leader when needed. But yeah, it's just all about good fun. So hope you enjoy watching.
Oh, yes.
Release him. Yeah, you'll hear me saying we've got to release that mackerel. There was this new closure for Spanish, no take Spanish mackerel. But what we're doing here is bait fishing, so that sort of makes up quite a significant part of each day, really, if you're struggling to get bait. So ideally we're looking for mac tuna, scaly mackerel, scad, that sort of thing, tows whole baits. And then once we've got some bait on board, we try and fit in a nice snorkel, spearfish, before we head out and do some heavy tackle fishing. We're out on the Linden Bank. Just got out here. This is our first arvo, as you've seen. We caught some bait, but we haven't rigged those, so we're just running 3 or 4 lures at the moment. Got a bit of a northerly, about, I don't know, 10 to 15. Not ideal. Much prefer 10 to 15 southeast. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Yeah, so here's a bit of an overview of the area, and you can see the green are my track lines from last season, I'd say. So we run out from Cairns, out the Trinity opening there, and then all that area I'm pointing to is the Linden Bank where we troll, and that's Opal Reef where we come in and anchor behind. Well, that's the plan for today anyway. So you can see there a skipping mac tuna bait, and this one here is a scaly mackerel. You can see how well they swim when they're rigged well. That's the Viking, Billy Bilson's old boat, and a friend of mine was on that. I thought I'd just show you this squiggly line all the way out here was a fish that was well over 1,000 pound. I'm thinking 11, 12s. We didn't get a good enough look, but we fought it for 4 hours. You can see I tried every manoeuvre in the book. Fought it, hooked up about 5 p.m. and lost it about 9 p.m. right down here, wide of the bank. It was epic. Anyway, I've got to clear my tracks, so I thought I'd better show you that before I get rid of it. Anyway, it was time to get the lines in and head back into the reef when suddenly we hooked up.
There he is! He's a mid-size! Righto, get that one in. How much weight's on him? Wow! Wow! Bloody hell, there he is! Look at him go!
We've got a long night, boys. A long night here.
Righto, wind it. Pull that in, Nito.
Pull it in.
You got in? Quick. Right, we're clear?
Yeah, so look, heavy tackle marlin fishing, it really is a team sport, and we've only got one deckhand there, and clearing the cockpit can take time, but this fish was a real line burner regardless. And you've got to get them as quick as you can. You don't want to risk sharks getting these fish. Yeah, so I think this is Jim's 8th season. So he's caught a lot of fish, and a lot of big fish. And including quite a few I would call close to the mark, 1,000 pounds and over, so he knows how to put some pressure on them.
Nice fish!
Yeah, and it's nice to get a little mid-sized one like this on the first day, just to iron out the creases. Beautiful. Wow. Little slide. Well, you. Well done, Nito.
That was a good one.
Good effort, mate. We're getting the lines in. Right at the end, right? We better get in there. Well done, right? First day.
What's that, like a 300 pounder?
Oh, a bit more, maybe.
It was
Yep.
700 pounds.
Yeah, so we woke to a beautiful morning. Bit of northerly still. It's always a bit strange. It makes the anchorages behind the reef not that great in the evenings. Not as good a protection, but usual program. Go out and see if we can get some bait into the freezers. Try and build our supplies. But this is a species we're definitely not looking for. An oversized barracuda. Anyway, it's a bit of fun. How often do you get to back up on a fish when you're bait fishing?
Just watch his teeth.
Watch his teeth. Little Black Marlin on your halco there. Oh. Now, I couldn't believe what I was seeing here, a little tiny inflatable on the outer reef with a 15 to 20 knot northwest forecast. And as he approached, I realised who it was. I look forward to this video! So we had a quick chat. His channel, YouTube channel, is called Rocket, R-O-K-K-I-T. Have a look at him. He used to be a kayak fisherman and now he goes on adventures in that little tiny thing. And anyway, he made it home. He was trying to shoot a film for that Top Water movie series that they did recently. That's the Coast Watch surveillance plane. You often see that. Good to see. Anyway, we were back out heavy tackle fishing now, and weather was great. So there was a few boats fishing down the bank here with us. Most of the fleet was still up top end of the reef or the middle off Cooktown, but seeing a few little fish being caught around us gave us great hope. And I was marking a few fish as well, just on the edge. Anyway, we thought we had something here, but it turned out to be a chop-off.
Yeah. And then it had to go at the lure I saw straight after.
So tonight we're running into Port Douglas for the evening. We couldn't believe it, right as we approached massive fireworks display. So today Jim had quite a few meetings to attend, that's why we were in port. He needed good internet access. So Nito and I went off and made ourselves busy doing jobs and restocking the boat, including buying a new donger.
Proper.
As you do. And then just in preparation for an early start the next day, we went around to the fuel dock.
Fueling up Port Douglas.
And I got an opportunity to stretch my legs and take a big walk along the beach there at Port Douglas, which was amazing. I'd never done that before. Beautiful part of the world. Rainforest meets the reef. Welcome, Jesse.
Good to be here.
Yeah, Jim's boy Jesse joined us as well for a few days now.
Good to be in port when the storm comes through.
How was that? You don't often capture a lightning strike on camera like that. A good tropical afternoon storm and then it cleared out to a beautiful evening. Yeah, so after a lovely night in town, one of the great restaurants, and watching some live music after, it was gentlemanly hours as we left Port Douglas to head out to the reef. Over the past years we've used Cairns as our base, but we were so impressed with Port Douglas, we think it's going to be on the agenda a bit more for the coming seasons. Alright, good to be back out on the reef. We're just doing a bit of bait fishing this morning. We'll probably fish the Linden Bank again this afternoon, probably anchor up at Opal or St Crispin's tonight. Yeah, so again, here's a bit of an overview coming out of Port Douglas, and then we'll bait fishing around these reefs, back to Opal and back out to the Linden Bank.
There's a shark below him.
Yeah, so good fun to catch a GT, but again, we just need to release him. He's no good for marlin bait.
Have a look how beautiful that water is.
So a beautiful swim and one of Nito's great jumps. He wasn't up for a head first one this year, he told us. Anyway, our mates on the Viking were around us again all day, and they had hooked up. Just a small one, but it's good to catch them. Yeah, so we missed a couple of small fish, but didn't come tight on anything. So it was a big 0 for us today, apart from that near chop off. Destroying a lovely bait. Yeah, so quite a pleasant night last night behind the reef with the winds dropping out, and this morning it was just beautiful. The plan was to try and do a bit of bottom fishing, see if we can get some table fish. Jim does a fantastic coral trout risotto, so that was our main target.
Yeah.
Yeah. So risotto was on the menu.
Oh, it got bitten in half.
Yeah, to be honest, we were finding the bait fishing quite difficult. Anyway, you always manage to get enough to get through the day, and if you don't, well, the lure fishing isn't a bad fallback, really.
Yeah. Let's go fishing. Don't get many days like this. Have a look at it.
Yeah, but when you do get these days, it's amazing to see trailer boats out there. And they do hook big fish on those little things, which is pretty epic. And that's a guy I've got to know, Charles. He's a mate of mine from Innisfail, and he's got a Caribbean 35 like Tsukiji. Tells me he has tower envy.
No fish yet. What an amazing day out on the bank.
Yeah, these conditions certainly make spending a day in the tower an absolute pleasure. Yeah, well, that was a beautiful night on the reef, and this morning the plan is we've actually got to get into Port Douglas again pretty early, so no heavy tackle fishing, so bait fishing and hopefully a bit of spearing with a swim on the way in. Heaps of sharks. Yeah, so here we are, desperate to catch some tuna, and we came across this about 200 metres inside a green zone. Incredibly frustrating. Anyway, it was worth having a look. Oh, see the little bait in the water in this prop? Spaniard. And then frustratingly, the very next fish we catch is a Spanish mackerel, which we have to release. Yeah. Two trout down there, but they're too little, and a beautiful big barramundi cod, which are, of course, a sacred, protected species. Anyway, it was a lovely swim for everyone, and then we went into Port Douglas. By the way, that's the palm tree that the lightning struck. So we decided we'll fuel up before we tie up for the afternoon. Then I had a chance to give the boat a good bath. And then we said goodbye to Nido, and our next mate and crewman, Squidlips, arrived. Real name Darren. You might remember the Squidder in some of the previous videos. He's been coming up for a long time with us, but he also fished way back in the day with Greg Edwards on the original Assegai. Yeah, so we thought we actually might try and make our way a bit further north. That's St. Crispin's Reef, and then we thought we could get right up to maybe Escape. We're kind of hoping for a better anchorage too, with the nor'wester forecast in the evenings, but that really didn't help at all, I've got to say. Yeah, we sure had some glass out conditions today. Oh no, hanging on by a thread. There they come.
Let's go catch a marlin, hey?
Alright. Yeah, so it was funny, we did get up to Escape and have a swim up there, as you saw, and went out the front for a fish, but it just, the water was all manky and not right, so we actually ran south again and started trolling our way back down to the bank, which I think was the right thing to do, according to the reports I received over the coming days. But it was another day of zero for us, but you know, we probably only had an hour and a half fishing, to be honest. Yeah, so after a fun morning bait fishing and swimming, we went out and started heavy tackle. And we just thought we'd try something different today and run right out to that ridge there that I'm showing. We didn't see any fish, but I think it was pretty quiet in on the edge too, so you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Anyway, the forecast wasn't great for tonight and tomorrow, so we actually went into town to Port Douglas again because we did need fuel and water. Yeah, so with this big southerly front coming through, we just thought, let's let it pass over us while we're bait fishing. We can always hide behind the reef and then assess whether we go out and heavy tackle after that. Alright, we're out bait fishing, and this is the start of this southerly that's coming through. It's already 20 knots down at Arlington Reef, and it's just starting to come here now. So we're forecast at 25 to 30 this afternoon, so it's really marginal from boat this size. But we're pretty keen to get out there and just harden up and see if we can get a billfish. Been a few days without one now, so we'll do the hard yards. Anyway, we're bait fishing, we'll see how we go. Well, it's only been about 10 minutes since I last spoke, and got at least 15 here now. Here it comes. Adjusting the cap to 25 to 30. Righto, we'd have 20 now. Righto, we got it here now. Nearly 30. Yes, but despite the howling wind, it's still quite fishable behind the reef, so we just continued to do what we do. We even got a swim in. It's beautiful out here! No drama at all! Yeah, so I'm obviously being a bit silly there, but yeah, we decided we'd go out and heavy tackle fish the afternoon anyway. As long as you know, it's a lot better if we can troll down sea as opposed to into it, which we could do. So I went quite south on the bank, which meant I could troll down sea all the way back to Opal. Got to release him. Makes it quite doable. And look, I'm not being silly. It is a good idea to have the grab bag out and the life jackets out in these conditions, because there were some pretty big rollers coming through, and you just got to be prepared. I think these big game boats with their gyros were looking at us with interest. Anyway, we're obviously in the right place to be. We had so many of the fleet down here at Opal at this stage for the night. But yeah, high tide behind the reef and a 35 footer in 25 knots isn't ideal, but we get through it. Yeah, so despite such a rolly old wild night, it was a beautiful morning, and alongside us here is Darren Hayden, or Biggles as he's known. He's one of the great skippers up there if you're ever looking for someone to charter. He used to be the captain for my younger half-brother Bo Jenyns, who was one of the great deckies around on the reef, now based in Florida, and still working in the game fishing industry, guiding over there. And as I mentioned earlier, one of my mates was fishing on the Viking, so it was nice. He gave me this bit of footage of us backing in.
Well done, not getting your fish yesterday, mate. Yeah, thanks, mate.
Not a bad session there. Got a few scaly mackerel, and then it was back out heavy tackle. we had all been waiting for this sort of 20 knot southeast change after all that northerly. It does tend to bring the fish in, pushes them up against the reef a bit better. That's Corey Hard over there on his beautiful old restored famous game fishing boat called the Sheriff. Corey's business is hardcore fishing. You look him up, he's one of the top skippers. Available for charter. It's a good photo, man. Anyway, it never looks that rough on video, but it was pretty sloppy conditions out there. But the three of us have been doing this for so long together, no one even sort of mentions it or complains, which is great. We just go about our business, and it's still very pleasurable.
Ready? Yep.
Yeah. If you want anything chopped, Jim's your man. Yeah, so we awoke to another sort of interesting day. Plenty of weather around still. Lots of rain squalls coming through and gusts, but it was all still very fishable. As you can see, everyone's still out there fishing. And for squidder, a great opportunity to have a fresh rain shower. Big spanner.
Beast.
I tell you, it's funny, there was a closure and you weren't allowed to take any Spanish mackerel. We've never caught so many. Nice release. So yeah, heavy tackle, very sporty out there, and as you can see, that boat's a 40-foot blackwatch. Looks like a tiny little thing getting tossed around, and there's Corey on the Sheriff.
Whoa! Did a big roll then, I saw all his fish painted under his hull.
And here's me holding up the boys, insisting on a team photo.
60 SKS will hang off the stress traffic.
Got him on? Oh yeah!
Oh, Jimmy's very tight here.
Yeah, finally, we'd gone a few days without a fish and we've found one. A just reward for this hard weather.
Starting to see it. Close. Ready?
Yeah, so she's only a little small one, but a fish is a fish. Well done.
Yeah, little Marlin, it's only 100 pound.
Yeah.
Well done, Lewis.
And then while we were running in, we saw these free jumping sailfish, which was incredible.
Come get us, big fella. Is that a sail?
Yeah, you don't see that often. Anyway, she was a bit rugged in the anchorage this evening, but had squalls coming through, and it didn't stop us having a great night. Stopped Darren having a midnight swim. Don't worry, we get him out quickly. We were a little bit subdued this morning, which was fine because this the weather had really deteriorated. We had a solid 25 forecast for today out of the southeast, and on top of that we had these squalls which had puffs of 30 coming through. So we didn't rush off, but eventually it cleared enough to go fishing. 25 knots today.
Right out the back.
It didn't take long for us to hook up.
Right?
Yeah, another small fish, but a beautiful fish, and an opportunity to get some nice shots of it alongside the boat. Released in good condition. So early start to catch the wallabies playing. We just had enough data to watch it on our phones while we had breakfast, and then we went out to battle the high seas again.
Determined to eat. There it is, mid-size, small bit. You right? Yeah. There he is, jumping. There could be sharks on it.
Right, I'll get the doors. That's something.
I just saw a lot of blood. Whoa. Not sure if that's the sharks attacking it. That fish didn't even have a chance. Like a cut.
Bit of meat on that there.
Oh, mate, it just looked like a piranhas. But that fish was jumping and doing so well. I can't believe they did that so easily. You're on? Right, see if you can get in the chair. No, he dropped him. You think something grabbed it afterwards?
I've just got to touch on the shot.
Got him on! Wow! That fish was about 200 pounds and just grabbed the lure there right up in the shallows here on the bank, but dropped it. I think that's been a pretty wild day.
Amazing up.
Three strikes.
All actually, the whole place has been alive out here with flying fish and everything that's going on.
Oh, sorry, it's a bit salty up here. We've got some pretty, what have I got, about 25 knots for this run back into Cairns, so she's a bit gnarly. Anyway, that's the end of a great 2 weeks. Yeah, thanks very much for watching. Not as many marlin this year as we would have hoped, but
how it goes. Anyway, if you're keen to come up here and try some heavy tackle marlin fishing, you're best getting onto the Cairns Professional Game Fish Association website. They've got all the listings of the boats and stuff there, and you know, or get in touch with me at Professional Boat Care in Brisbane, and I could point you in the direction of some of the good crews. So anyway, subscribe to my Facebook and Instagram, Professional Boat Care, and this YouTube channel. And there's plenty more content there. There's a couple of other past trips up here over the last few years on this boat, which is pronounced Tsukiji, by the way. Alright, thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.